Okay, ever since the update that happened on PC and on console, doing offsets was removed, but I'm here to tell you that they do work, even floor stacking, and it turns out that it's actually easier than it was before. We'll show you how to do it. So, wouldn't you like to know how to stack this and a ladder hatch at the same time? And all you need to do, and this should look very familiar, come over here, place your roof tile, boom! It opens, and you still have the ladder hatch here. And all you need to do to replace it is come over here, delete this, unlock the ladder hatch, open it, and then remove it. And then you can place the tile back in there. Beautiful. You can already see, very hot. Ladder hatch. Yeah, I think this technique is actually more condensed, faster to do, more consistent once you land it, and you can do both floor stacking and offsets. And there's a variation of different builds that you can do off of this, and we'll show you how to do it. I would do this on Builder's Paradise like we're doing here, because I already made a couple of errors. And once you get the swing of it, it's not bad. And to be fair, if you have a nice consistent controller and a good strafe, you should be able to pull this off every time. Let's go ahead and slink down here and do it. I'm going to put 2 low walls and a bear rug. That is a necessity, so I guess there is one blueprint that you do need. So we're going to face the head over there, try to keep it as straight as possible, and then just strafe into the wall on the left. And what we're going to do is have a triangle out. We're going to step on the bear's head. I'm going to crouch, get it about to where the supports are, and then I'm going to strafe, be very careful to strafe left into the, I was going to say foundation, the wall. I place, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to strafe to the right only, jump over the wall, strafe only, and then strafe back into the foundation. Now, you'll know if you did it incorrectly because, there we go, see, I must have moved. And sometimes jumping off this wall here, it's actually kind of good we messed this up. Sometimes jumping off the wall or hitting something else as you come down will actually make this not work. So, whack these. So I'm crouched, by the way. I'm going to strafe to the right. I'm going to jump on the wall before I hit it. Then I'm going to strafe over to the left and let it go. And ooh, you know what? That's why I'm crooked on this. Hold on, hold on. And that's the other thing too, like you need to make sure that your line for this is pretty straight. Ooh, you know what? This guy's kind of forward too. Hang on, let me pick him up. Let me place him back down this way. Get his head closer to there. It's kind of good we're hitting all of the gotchas. I even thought I was good at this, and now I'm like really messing this up. Okay, looking straight, crouching, strafing over, placement, strafe. Before I hit the wall, I'm jumping, falling down, and then strafing into the wall on the left. I think this is a good one. Ah, yes. So we have blues all the way around. You can see right here, the highlighted blue, that's the high side, that's the low side. Now the trick with this is, when you're in a actual server, you're going to have to knock these down but kind of keep your foundations. So what I'm going to do here is, because the problem is you can't have 2 edge of foundations that are at different heights next to each other, but they can share points, or the edges, not the edges, but the points of the foundations. So that's how we're going to work this. So this is the high side. So here, just for visual representation, we're going to go out like 3 squares, make this a high quality just so we can see the difference, and I'm going to put a high wall here, and I'm going to make that wood. So we know what that is, and I'm just going to whack these out. Again, this is why having a bow and arrow is good. You can knock these out. So we do have the high side marked, so we can knock this side down and this side. Be careful not to hit this one. What we're going to do here is we're actually just creating this, or keeping this on the same grid as the one over here. Up, we have the block build there. Nice. What we'll do now, while we're waiting for this, is we'll put our little tower over here so we can see what's going on. Yes, later. Yes, if you have controller drift, this will be very difficult to do. Not impossible, but extremely hard. Okay, so this is the low side. We're going to go out 3 here. You don't have to necessarily. This is just to kind of mark our location here. So I'm going to take this low wall here. Oops, I meant to put low wall, not this. And we'll make this stone to kind of represent what this is going to be. Oops, stone. Okay, so we're going to knock this out. So now we have low side and high side marked with wood and now stone. So you really want the part that's going to be that stability, the roof override, to be the high side. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out in this direction, and I'm going to put... And again, you can condense this. I'm just doing this so we have a nice way to look at this. You're nice. What? We're going to use this as the... We're just going to build this onto a 2x2. You could put this on anything, really. Low side represents stone, in this case. And we're going to put the 1x2 here. This would be like the standard doorway. And then what we did before was we put like a triangle piece out here as well. And then we just had the other piece float in there, I think. Isn't that what we did before? I think it is. Okay, so what we're going to do to bring this around, so since we can only touch corners and not edges, we're just going to take this square piece as a twig. See how they're touching right there? We should be good to go if I didn't mess up the alignment on this. As a matter of fact, you know what, let me just kind of back up so you guys can see this up on the ledge again. We did this before. Hopefully this helps out. This represents where we're actually going to have that foundation. Let me go ahead and just make this twig so you guys can kind of see that as we're up high, and hopefully it doesn't get too dark on us too quick here. As I said before, this works for floor stacks and offsets. Ooh, that shadow's not helping. So the high side is the wood, low side stone. What we're going to do is put our, whoops, so we'll cover it up very quickly, just like this. Very good. And this will represent like, put doors in here, whatever, but essentially you're going to jump out of this. And this wall here needs to be stone. So if you ever have a hard time snapping to these foundations, just like the top, you kind of make sure you're not going to snap to this, look away, and then kind of slowly work your way down to that foundation. Oops, I'm standing in the way. That does not help. You know what? I think I got it. And then you can kind of check the tops too. Having the blue highlight helps as well. As long as you don't have another foundation in your view, it does kind of snap to whatever's in your sight. There you go. Okay, so just like another stability override, over here, this wooden area represents... Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate these so you can kind of see that these are two half walls. Obviously, you don't want your soft sides out, obviously. And we'll knock this one out so we can kind of walk in more freely. Sorry for the shadow. You can see our two foundations there representing what were our two different heights. And then once we place the ceiling tiles up there, it's going to make more sense. You're going to see one kind of offset. You'll see a lip there. Again, very nice for floor stacking as well. And as long as these are touching the tips and not the edge, we're good to go. So this one here is going to carry stability on this triangle piece, so I'm going to be very careful to look up and slowly move up until it snaps, and it should stay on the wood or the high side. We're going to keep that wood. Check the stability, 22. And what we should have done earlier, oops, the stone side is going to carry our wall, ceiling, what is this called? Ceiling, the one with the hole in it. Slowly move down. There it goes. Check stability. You always kind of want to do this while you've got your cementing phase on the loose. And if we just place this here, you can see we're actually placing over two sections. And this is working because this is just slightly up than the other side. And these edges are touching just the tips, the edges, or I'm sorry, the tips and not the edges. And it's actually going to count for the upkeep on this TC because they are touching, but just in the right way. That sounds terrible. And now that this is here, we have 8%. Everything on the wood, it'll override the stability. This shouldn't be new for a lot of people. And as long as you place the ceiling tile here, because you have the two half walls here, it's transferring stability down to the foundation, making this unstable because that's now 10%, breaking that and opening the seal. And then to shut it, you go back here, hit demolish, and you can reset this here. Let's just make that there. And what's really cool, I think we showed it earlier, you can also put a ladder hatch in there, triangle or square, it doesn't matter, just like that. And then let's get up on the roof here so you can kind of see the edge difference. Oops, we didn't make another tile over here. That would probably help. Alright, let me look this way, bring it back over. me knock this out. That shadow's killing me. So you can see you put some kind of jump up here, or if you have a ladder hatch, you're good to go. Just imagine all of this sealed up, and you can see the edge difference right there. And you can make these as many as you want, which is crazy. So this helps with the offset for this and the stability, but then you can start to floor stack the ceilings, which makes it wild. So as long as you're doing this whole mechanism here where you've got the open gap and it's just the tips, not the edges, you can make some crazy stuff. And we'll have some builds in the future that kind of showcase some of this. You've seen some of it already on stream, but we're going to have like individual builds for it, so you can really start to see just how powerful this is. And honestly, once you nail it, I mean, I did mess up a few times, but once you do get it, it's so fast. So there you go. Offsets and floor stacking the easy way.